What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy ABK, and thank you for checking out another one of my weekly Forex and cryptocurrency analysis. I really do appreciate it. All right, so first things first, I don't even know why I'm even on the charts because that is not how I usually do things. For those who are familiar with my analysis, what I usually do is first things first, I come and look at what the news is going to be, right? I'm not a fundamental analysis trader. I don't care about what the news event, well, I do kind of care about what the news event is, but I don't care about the results, what it's about, or anything like that, right? That's just how I am, that's just my personal preference. So I just say that I just say that because I know a lot of people, they say, oh, well, that's what actually drives the market and stuff like that. And my opinion is, hey, I just don't look at it, you know, and it works for me, right? So anyways, let's go ahead and get things started. So not looking at Sunday, Monday, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, we're going to have GBP news, and that's going to be Governor Bailey speaking. Tuesday, there's going to be no news. Wednesday, there's GBP news at 10:45 a.m. Governor Bailey speaks again, and also the USD Federal Chairman Powell will be speaking. Thursday, no news, and Friday there's going to be Canadian dollar news with GDP, USD with core PCE price index, and USD ISM manufacturing PMI. So I'm going to actually go ahead and go to my FX book because I need to see what they have for. There you go, economic calendar, because I could have sworn there was so much more news. You know what I'm saying? I could have sworn there was so much more news. So continue. Sorry. I'm actually trying to look at only the impact that is high impact. I don't know how to do it on here. I usually just do it on my phone. So it's like, okay, this is kind of irritating. Really? So it's not really gonna, it's only showing me low impact news. That's really actually kind of weak. All right. It is what it is. I'm just gonna go based off of Forex Factory, but yeah, I would definitely, if I were you, I would go ahead and check out my FX book economic calendar as well, because if I'm not mistaken, like I said, next week there's gonna be a lot more news than just this, unless I'm actually gonna go and check. All right, let's see what fundamentals are we looking at. Fundamentals, or my FX book, I mean. Yeah, next week there is a lot of, I don't know if y'all can see, but there is a lot of news according to my FX book. So that's why I'm like, yo, I don't know how accurate this is, but we'll see what happens, right? We'll see what goes down with that. But anyways, like I said, I just want to know what happens. I just want to know when stuff is happening. I don't necessarily care about what's going on, except for like this. There are a few news that I definitely keep my eyes on, though. All right, so just off of the last analysis that I had did for on Thursday for next wave students, I had drawn out a fib from this low to this high, and I had said, okay, if price comes and drops down to this buy box, then I expect I would want price to hold here and continue going bullish, right? And as we can see right here, it definitely went to work. Unless, let me go into the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, this was at 1900 is, dang, I be forgetting. 1900 is 7 o'clock. So this was at 7 where price made this huge move to the upside and then came back down on the DXY, right? That's what it looks like, at least. Might not be true, but that's what it just looks like on TradingView. Let me put my full screen back on. Sorry. So after that went bullish and then came back down, when stuff like this happens, I usually have the tendency of thinking, okay, price is probably going to end up coming back to fill up this wick. And why do I think that? Because no matter what the opinion may be, this wick was what price had did. Even like you can't see it on a line chart, but you can see it on a candlestick chart. And if you go over here, you can see that the high clearly says 93.524. So when stuff like that happens, it's kind of like, okay, no matter what, I have to draw this fib out. And then you can see that that's where exactly price is rejecting at, like in the fib zone, in my usual fib zone where there is 93.318, 93.368, 93.409. Price was rejecting over there because it's just, from that drop from, like I said, from the chart. But what I want to see is for price to just continue going bullish. I wanted to create making higher highs because it hasn't made a higher high since right here. But it's basically, like I said, with this supply zone, and I had mentioned this and I'm just actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna talk about this any further. I'm just gonna clear the chart and just do a fresh markup, and I'll explain why I'm not feeling the DXY right now. So DXY, we still have this zone that it is respecting. Well, that is not what I wanted, but actually, I'm gonna keep it like that, right? Where it's been rejecting, and if we extend it all the way back into the past, we can see that there are multiple interactions at this zone as well, where price was once using it as resistance for a very long time. Then it dropped down, then it came back up. So this is a very key weekly zone we have here, right? And price has been bullish. Price no matter what we can say, price has been bullish. It's just that it hasn't it's still here and it's technically speaking. Actually, I could say that it broke through this lower high right here. I could say that it broke through that lower high with this candlestick right here, because it did close above it and even above the wick. So with that being said, and then we have this rising wedge right here, right? Oh my goodness, my phone is blowing up. I'm putting this away. All right, so we have this rising wedge here where price can definitely, it's still been respecting it pretty nicely. And one thing that I had mentioned was that from this high to this low, price has still been rejecting at this fib zone on the daily time frame. And I think I had mentioned this about 2 weeks ago for like when price came up here. Wait, this was 17th September. Yeah, about 2 weeks ago, exactly. When price was up here, I'm like, yo, this is an area where I'm kind of looking for price to start to slow down, because if it holds here, then it's going to continue going bearish, right? So that's one thing that I definitely do want to watch out for. I want to see what's up before I try to get into. I am selling Euro USD, so that means I do expect this to go bullish, but my stop loss is at break even, right? And if my stop loss gets hit at break even, so it is what it is. I'm totally okay with that. But this is not a sell loss necessarily, but the demand zone, and it's only because again it's doing this rising wedge, and it from the drop, the retracement, why is this? Sorry. I don't know why supply was so hard for me to find, but yeah, it's just the retracement, and price has been rejecting here, bearish engulfing candle right there. Then the retracement, even going to the lower time frame, even the retracement from that, like I said, from the beginning, from this wick that price had made, price pushed back up and is rejecting off of this zone right here as well. So that's another thing that I'm not liking for potential buys on the DXY. But like I said, I want to be going with the trend, because overall we are in a bullish trend. Like, I cannot deny that this has broken through this equal high. But if that was the case, then I would need from this low to this high I would need that retracement before trying to get into some serious buys. You know what I'm saying? And if that happens where this zone is at, where price especially rejected off of, I don't know if I'm going to feel comfortable trying to buy it down here, even if that happens. And this can take months before price gets down here. So I'm talking really long term when I'm looking at this right now. So there's just so many different. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like this. This sell can happen so hard, and it kind of looks like that's what's gonna happen. You know, let me look at this weekly candle one more time. I don't like seeing a doji candle right here on the weekly time frame. That's not a good sign. I don't want to see a doji candle there on the weekly. So you see what I'm saying? It's like, like I said, I'm in a sell on EU, but right now it could definitely go. It could definitely go bearish. Or the US dollar can definitely go bearish. So let's see what really goes down though. 2 hour time frame. I'm gonna go talk about EU. I'm gonna go talk about EU because then you guys are gonna see why I'm still pretty much bearish on it. But I mean, even with this, me seeing this monthly candle on the US dollar, and if it rejects off of this lower danger zone, like because right now, as of right now, this candle's up here. Right? If it closes above next week, because there's 5 more days, so basically next week, after next week, then I'll be doing my analysis on the monthly time frame more in depth. But with that being said, if price does close up at these highs right here, I'm not gonna be mad. I'm gonna be chilling. So we'll see what happens next week. But as far as arbitrage is concerned, it wants to come up to 94.497. So again, I'm still staying in my EU sell. Daily time frame. Daily time frames rejecting off of this second deviation, but it looks like the bands are still pointing up, so I think that might mean that price may still continue going bullish, and there's no confirmations at all that say that this wants to go bearish. So let's see what happens. And it's kind of interesting when I'm seeing that a bearish candle, because this candle, it closed at 93.081, so it closed down here. It's interesting for me to see this candle. It's yellow and it's bearish. That has happened that quite often. Like this was out of all these candles, this was the only this was even bearish because it closed at 92.906. See, is this down here? No, it closed right here. So this was even a bearish candle, really. So it's weird for me to see that this is a bearish candle that's yellow. I don't think that I really see that. Like, hold on, let me see what this looks like. Yeah, actually, no. This was one right here, and then price kept going bullish. So daily time frame is still going bullish. So as of right now, 4 hour time frame. Okay, it called for this, but I promise you, the next candle that pops up, if it's a little bit bullish, then it's gonna be like, oh, okay, well, it's time for this to call for a buy. So as of right now, that 4 hour time frame, if I was in a sell, like let's say that if I was able to trade the DXY, right? If I was in a sell, I'll be sweating right now. I'll be like, okay, nah, fam, this is kind of trippy to me. I'm not gonna try to get into that. So that's what the 1 hour time frame. I mean the 4 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame is bullish on the DXY. So again, I don't think that this is gonna go bearish next week. It's just my personal opinion, but it needs to break these equal highs before I can be really feeling it. And again, the second and third deviation, they are pointing towards up. So again, that's a signs that potentially tell me that price is going to go bullish. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm still in my Euro USD sell that I had talked about, and we'll see what goes down. Speaking of EU, let's go over here. All right. So EU, it's a different story because it doesn't necessarily have that whole it's a doji candle, right? It doesn't have that. So that's something that I'm looking at on the daily time frame. Oh, actually see, never mind. I forgot that because it was on the weekly that I was looking at it. So let me just talk about the trade that I'm in real quick before I talk about before I do a fresh analysis, right? So I talked about that I was getting into a Euro USD sell. Price had gone a little bit bullish, but it came and the price had gone a little bit bullish and gave me some drawdown, but then ended up falling. I do believe, I'm more than certain my 1-to-1 got hit because I did it earlier. So 1-to-1 was down over here. Well, no, my 1-to-1 is 25 pips. Price had dropped down to 36 pips. So my 1-to-1 did get hit, right? So whatever happens, my stop loss is at break even. Dang, I'm gonna have to take a screenshot of this on time. Okay. Remove drawings, weekly time frame. Doji candle as well, and the same thing from this bullish from that low to this high. Look where price is rejecting at. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of seeing this weekly candle close like this, because now this makes me think that price is going to reject here off of this buy box and continue going bullish. Because we also have to identify that, yes, there is a zone right here. There is a major zone here at 1.1 between 1.16621 and 1.1700 basically. In fact, that's exactly where I'm going to put that at. 1.1700. And then just to make this a whole number. Yeah. So as in the same thing, if you look to the left, you can see that prices use this as an important zone multiple times, right there, right here, right here, right here, right here. So definitely a key zone on the weekly time frame, going to the daily time frame. However, my thing with the buy is that the way how price ended up dropping, right? It came down pretty fast. And one thing that I usually say, and it's just when price moves down that fast, especially since it didn't make a higher high on the daily time frame, it did not make a high. I mean, it did not make a high and break structure. It did not break through this structure right here, right? So at the end of the day, let me just go ahead and put some liquidity up here, because price can literally just go bullish, grab some liquidity, and then fall to the downside, right? So that's number one. Price daily time frame 50 EMA is currently under it. Price came down fast. It did not break this structure. It did not make any high, and then this would have been a low. So again, this looks like it's just going to continue going bearish to me. However, I don't like this 4-hour bullish engulfing candle right here. I don't like seeing that, and then daily time frame bullish engulfing candle. I don't like seeing that, and then going on to the lower time frames, I draw the fib, and it's rejecting off of the 71% and might be going bullish. I don't like seeing that type of price action on the lower time frames where a fib zone is at, because where price officially closed at is basically at the 78.6 of this. If for those who are having a bullish sentiment, I just did the analysis for you. If you're bullish, boom. Basically, taking it to these equal highs for me to then really be like, okay, yeah, this is gonna go bullish. This would be the trade setup right here. This would be the trade setup. Risking 70 pips on EU, which is not terrible, for 343 pips. That's the swing opportunity right there. Boom. However, again, you have to watch for this liquidity up here, and I feel like that's probably going to get grabbed if price does go bullish. So you have to watch out for that. But again, I'm not feeling this buy. I'm not really feeling the buy sentiment on EU. I feel like it's right there, on the 4 hours, making lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Where is it? It has not even made a high. Came up here and made equal highs. So if it would have broken structure and made a high, then I'd be like, okay, yes, we can look to sell this. So I mean, we could look to buy it. So again, it's just on the lower time frame that I'm having these thoughts, right? But we'll see what goes down. I'm gonna draw this out to see if it does play out, but I don't want it to, you know, I don't expect it to at least. But I'm just gonna draw it anyways because it's on the lower time frame. Supply. There we go. And we'll see what goes down. Or what? I'm funny. There we go. I'd be forgetting. All right, we'll see what goes down with this. But like I said, I do want to see this main zone get broken because price is just making you get lower highs and lower lows in my eyes. Oh, it's going over to arbitrage. Before I do that, drink water, y'all. Okay. All right, Euro USD weekly time frame, or actually let's go into the monthly because I want to see what the monthly looks like. Again, next week we'll be doing a top-down analysis from the monthly down to the 1 hour or 4 hour basically. So monthly time frame rejecting the lower danger zone. The upper danger zone. I love seeing that. Again, if I was trading this on the monthly, I would not have bought this because I don't like how this looks at all. So I want to see this monthly candle close under here. If the monthly closes under 1.17, let me see right here, 1.1800 basically, then I'm going to be bearish on Euro USD still, right? Weekly time frame, it's basically about to go and hit this lower danger zone, but I still expect it to continue falling. We never got the retracement up to the the RSI line like I had thought, but price is under the mean line. So again, I don't think it's going to reach over there. Daily time frame definitely just called for a sell and is rejecting the lower danger zone right here. The 4 hour time frame. And if anybody is confused about the arbitrage indicator, you guys can go ahead and just click on wherever that thing pops up, and you can go ahead and check out the arbitrage indicator and what it does, because I do give a full rundown explanation of everything that's on the arbitrage and how I trade it and everything like that. So I'll go ahead and post that up right around here or something like that. So Euro USD, again, this is something that I was actually watching for. I was really careful when I was getting into the sell. I was saying that I have to be careful with this because I do see that price is currently over the RSI line, but it has not yet called for a buy. So since it didn't call for a buy and nothing was lining up, I didn't buy it. I instead sold it, and I ended up playing out. So 1 hour time frame, it's bearish as well. Again, I'm pretty much still bearish on EU until I see something different on Monday or something like that. So, AD USD, I'm so sick. I'm so sick because price stalked me out by how many pips? Let me see. By 14 pips, and then ended up falling. And what was the 1-to-1? 27 pips. Let's see how many pips this dropped. Basically 40. So exactly. That thing played my life. So, but it's okay. It's all right, you know. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna have to actually keep it 1,000, and I'm gonna take a screenshot of this because it is important. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna copy chart image, or no, save chart image. Sure, let's put it here. And then give me a second, guys. I'm doing something. There we go. That's where I was so skeptical right there, but save the chart. All right, there we go. All I wanted to do. Okay, remove drawings, and I'm gonna talk about what I was seeing previously with AUD USD. All right, so prices under the weekly 50 EMA and rejected off of it. So that's something that I was very vigilant about. I'm like, that's something interesting to see. Had two pretty healthy Morobosa candles to the downside, and now we have a doji candle as well on AUD USD, just like with the other USD pairs that we've gone through so far. Wait a minute, before I do that, let me go ahead and draw this out over here. Just want that zone to be visible down here. Okay, daily time frame. One thing that I want you guys to notice is that there's this zone that where price is currently at right now, right? There's a zone that price had broken down to, pushed to the upside, retraced. I expect this to actually continue going to the upside. So I'm going to go ahead and draw this out. It landed there pretty nicely. Almost came to the 71%. I would still want it to come down there. And the reason why I also have this zone placed there is because from this high to this low on a higher time frame, I'm going to make this a different color. We can see that price had pushed to the downside from the 78.6 at 0.7200 basically, and it dropped to the downside. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, if I was in a swing buy on AUD USD, right, and I had gotten in at 0.72871, I would have been in some drawdown and price would have came down to 0.71100. But then after that, and this is Payton's one of my favorite strategies that I learned from Payton, is that this push to the downside is usually a manipulation move, right? That if you see right after a sharp bullish move breaking previous structure right here, then what you could expect is a move back down to the fib zone and then a continuation to the upside. I'm kind of looking for that at this area right here where we're at. And I actually like the pricing for a potential swing opportunity. I actually love the pricing for a swing opportunity here. I wouldn't be against going for a long-term swing buy at for AUD USD. So I'm going to draw this out. And I'm going to put away this. And actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to put away that zone quite yet. I'm going to put that there. And I'm going to hide that. Okay? So, like I was saying, I'm seeing the way how price pushed to the downside is the only thing that's keeping me not trying to necessarily buy AUD USD. But when I see this bullish engulfing candle right here, then a retracement, and same thing with all the other USD pairs. If I come, well, actually, I'm gonna hide this real quick. I'm gonna put this here, and I'm gonna set an alert for my 71% fib, create, and then I'm going to hide. So when I hide that, and then same thing again, but again, the way how price dropped, it doesn't make me feel like price is gonna continue going bullish, but it is at a crucial zone. The way how price is rejecting off of this fib zone is not a good sign for me. Again, there's a lot of signs that might be pointing towards the upside move, and the only thing that is taking me, like making me not feel that way, is number one, the volume. Wait, let's even go ahead and look at the volume real quick. There's no volume in this. I mean, this candle right here did pick up a lot more volume than all the others, basically, except for when we talk about over here. And price did break the structure. That's one thing that I'm still watching for AUD USD. It's a tricky one at this point. You know, I'm gonna go look at the AXY real quick. All right, let's see. AXY, let's go into the weekly time frame. I don't know, when's the last time I looked at this thing? AXY is basically like the same thing, like same thing, right? It's like, oh, price ended up dropping, it came back up, retraced. It's still in that like swing buy area, but it has so much more to correct because this bearish push to the downside, it was like, I mean, this bullish push to the upside, it was huge. And the way how current price action is looking, I want to see it make a retracement back down to 63.96 or something like that, right? So that's just basically what I'm looking at on AUD USD. It looks basically the same. I mean, the AXY looks basically the same as AUD USD, literally. So going back over to AUD USD, yeah, I mean, if you are down, if you are very much bullish on this move, here's what I would do. I'm not even gonna hold you. Because like I said, just based off of where prices even at on the weekly time frame, it's not bad pricing, right? If I was paying attention, I would have tried to get down here, to be quite honest. Trying to get a buy opportunity isn't a bad idea. It doesn't look that bad to me, I'm not gonna lie. I would put my stop loss probably below these lows, but at this point, I see equal lows down here. Oh yeah, I think this is gonna keep falling. I see equal lows. Hold on. Yeah, I see these equal lows. That's all I see right there. So I wouldn't, again, it doesn't look good. No, don't even try to buy it. If you down, you can, but I mean, I would rather just not, and I would just rather wait for like, oh well, I didn't get in, it is what it is type of thing. It's AUD USD anyways. It's my least favorite USD pair that I trade. Okay, actually, let me go on over to arbitrage real quick. Okay, monthly time frame. We'll go check it out real quick. Oh, that monthly just wicked this RSI line. I don't like this monthly candle, how it looks like it's gonna keep falling. So again, like bulls, like the buys, they're not that great looking right now personally. Weekly time frame still been very much bearish since July, since the beginning of the July. 4 hour, daily time frame rejecting off of the RSI line and the lower danger zone. Not good signs for a buy. 4 hour time frame and called for a buy right here, but price is currently under the RSI line. Not a good sign for a buy. So again, 1 hour time frame. Like, I'm not feeling the buy on any of these moves until I see some other type of move. Once I see the other type of move, then I'll be like, okay, yes, the DXY is going to keep falling. But until then, I'm going to chill in my USD, in my Euro USD, sell and keep selling it. I'm not going to try to get into AUD USD. And that's just that. If you have a bullish sentiment, then there you go. I gave you the reason why you would want to buy right now. All right, so UCHF, I had mentioned that, oh, price came down here, well, pretty much bullish, but, and it's funny because I literally said this, and I think I'm going to make a clip of it, and I'm going to actually then record this, so I'm just letting y'all know in advance that I'm like, oh, would you look at that? Price did end up going bullish, and then coming right back down, and then going bullish again, just like I mentioned. UCHF be on its bullshit. But yeah, it really does, because I just said that it's funny how it happens all the time. It happens all the time with UCHF. It's so funny. But go ahead and remove drawings and go ahead and get into this. So weekly time frame, bearish candle, but it's not a bearish candle that would make me worry about not not buying UCHF, right? Like, out of all the USD pairs, UCHF probably might be the best one for me to try to trade. Well, not try to trade, but it looks good for it to continue going bullish, right? Did have a bearish engulfing candle. Wait a minute. What did this close at? This closed at 93.220, and this opened at 93.146. So there's a gap right here, apparently. So 93.220 is where this closed at. And the opening of the next daily candle was at 93.146. So with that being said, there is a gap here. That looks so pathetic. There is a gap here, and the reason why, again, you guys saw the open high low close on there. Let's go into the 4-hour time frame. It doesn't look like there's a gap though. That's the weird part, because we can see that price clearly was playing on every one of these. So wait, hold on. So this was the open 93.226. The close 93.221, the open 93.221. Yeah, bro, never mind. There is definitely not a gap. Like, ain't that weird? What? Oh, it's because this candle opened at 4 o'clock. So let me go see what the 1 hour time frame looks like then. Yeah, there was no gap. Stop it, man. Never mind. I take that back. Anyways, the daily time frame looking different. I don't know why. You guys see how trading views sometimes be chirping? Or if it's FXCM, it's probably the broker itself, or with the chart that I'm using. I forgot that I actually need to change that. Things that AB keeps forgetting to do. But anyways, UCHF, like I said, it doesn't look like to me that it's gonna keep pushing to the downside. I feel like it's just gonna keep going bullish. Let's just say from this low to this high. Price rejected all of this. I really wanted that 71%. I never got it, but it could come back down if the USD decides to keep playing. So I'm still watching for this kind of, and I'll see what price does there. But I'm not gonna put a buy limit there, or I'm not gonna try to just try to get a market execution order there. I would rather wait, because again, at this point in time, and the way how the 4 hour moved to the downside, although price consolidated here for a long time, it could potentially go bearish. It could potentially go bearish, and if it did, then I would have to say that, okay, well, then I would probably need to. It just looks kind of sloppy, but maybe down here, nah, I probably wouldn't do it. I would have to wait and see if this setup fails for a potential buy move, or it could, like I said, it could literally just bounce off of here and go bullish. But if this setup, it comes down and then goes bullish if it fails, then I would have to wait a little bit on UCHF for it to give me a clearer picture. But yeah, I'm pretty much bullish on this thing. Let's go on over to the monthly time frame. Let's see what monthly looks like on UCHF. Reject. I don't like seeing that. Rejecting off of the monthly time frame. Off of the monthly lower danger zone. Weekly time frame. Gone bullish. It's hit basically to take profit of what I would have tried to get into a buy for. Daily time frame currently rejecting off of the upper danger zone, so that could be a potential good news for the bullish move still. 4 hour time frame, however, is called for a sell, and if I would have gone into this, my stop loss would be at break even. I would have tried to get in like around over here. Stop loss would be at break even. Now my stop loss would have got hit. Never mind. And 1 hour time frame calling for a buy and rejecting off of this RSI line. So it's just, I would stay away from it personally. It just looks like a whole lot of headache personally to me to try to trade it at this point. Okay, S&P, man, that was a slick. I didn't get in the trade, but that was a slick S&P buy. If I remember correctly, I had said that the stop loss would be like under these lows if you wanted to be safe with it. If you wanted to have that like 11 to 30, like each, that's crazy actually. But yeah, under the low of the 78.6, and then you could take the price to the upside. Price never came down to the 78.6 before going bullish. And I was like, okay, I like the way how this went bullish on a lower time frame. That hey, let's go ahead and get the retracement. We got the bullish move, the retracement, continuation to the upside on UCHF, and that ended up playing out perfectly to the T. And again, that's why I'm like, yo, because look at the way how this fell down. It came down a little fast. That's why I'm just like, I'm not so crazy over the other moves, how they came down, but it could potentially still keep going bullish, right? So let's go ahead and delete all that. This is a trade. Oh, and this can even come to 61.8, the extension. So you don't even have to have you don't even have to have had a 1 to 11. You can still hold this. I got out personally. You can still hold this up to 4,204 points, and that's 1 to 13 risk to reward ratio. So you could even do that. But like I said, that's just awesome stuff. Let's go ahead and go on over to the daily time frame. I'm gonna take a picture of this actually. Okay, delete that. All right, so there's one thing that I am watching for. Oh my goodness, yeah, this is bullish. If I'm looking at this weekly candle, just like every other weekly candle that's closed very similar to it, I have to keep taking this to the upside. Like literally, every time there's a wick that's like that long to the downside, price literally keeps going bullish every time. Like, hold on, I want to find a moment when it leaves a wick like that and doesn't go bullish. This is extremely bearish. I would not count that, or that, or that. I'm really trying to find a time where it's left a long wick and doesn't go bullish. Long wick never comes back to those lows, goes bullish. A long wick goes bullish. And whatever. Kind of long wick, but went bullish. But you see what I'm saying though? Like this, I hate it here. But let's see what happens, because I was saying, and again, daily time frame, 3 bullish candles like that, it does not look like this wants to slow down personally. I do know that there is this zone here, so that's something that you could possibly watch for. But the 4-hour time frame, it's rejecting off of this zone that's here. I would rather have this sell box thing. No, I don't want to have it written down though. Okay, so I see this zone here that price can literally just sell off of, although the way how price came up, I doubt it. It's already gone above the fib zone from these lows. I mean, from these highs to these lows. So, if putting it from these all-time highs to these recent lows that it's made, it's currently at a fib zone and is rejecting off of the 61.8, right? So this is an very much interesting zone that you would want to see. And if you're still bearish on the US indices, well, there you go. You now have a legitimate reason to be like, okay, yeah, I'm pretty much bearish on this. However, again, it's just based off of how the price came up. It came up pretty fast, but the volume was big right here, and price pushed to the upside as well. So there's some interesting things going on here. And again, I mentioned that, the retracement, it played out perfectly at the 71% fib, went bullish, hit the extensions. That is the reason why I gone out of US 30, because it's hit the extension on SPX. I'm pretty sure it's hit almost all the extensions on US 30 as well, but I'll go ahead and check that out, right? So anyways, I want to see what happens here in this zone. I really want to see what happens at the supply zone, because as you can see, it is supply zone. on US30, on S&P before I decide to try to like sell it or something like that. But it is looking very much bullish. 1 hour time frame had a fake out. I would not have tried to buy that or sell. I would not have tried to sell that or buy that. Monthly time frame, it's out of here. I don't know when's the last time this thing is called for a sell. The last time it called for a sell was back in October in 2008 when the recession happened. So just put that into perspective as to why you are more than likely to be making money off of the S&P by just buying into it, because it just keeps going higher and higher. We can see right now currently it is rejecting as well off of the the RSI line on arbitrage. So it's kind of like, oh, okay, that's something very interesting to see, 4 hour time frame. 4 hour time frame, we have it's gone bullish. I would need a retracement back down here before I try to get into a buy or anything like that. And then I remember I got into this buy. Price never did come all the way down to these lows. So for an arbitrage move, as long as you didn't have that early exit, then that's a win right there. But it did give an early exit there, so at this point I really don't have anything for the S&Ps, like whether to try to buy or sell it. There we go. Okay, so we'll see what happens with S&P. Let's go on over to Dow Jones. Okay, Dow Jones, same thing like I said, right? Literally the same thing. Price went bullish. It's done more than 1-to-1. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. This is the overall fib zone. 71%. That was a brilliant push to the upside off of the 71%. Currently, right now, I'll just do it from the highs to the lows. Why not? Currently, there is a zone that price it's at this 61.8 fib zone from the high of 35,632 or 33 basically to the low of 33,618. So come to this fib zone 61%, but the way how price came up here, the best case scenario, this is what I would want to see for me to try to get into another buy, is if price pushed down and then continue going bullish. That's what I would want to see for me to get into a buy. But I wouldn't want to buy it as it's in the supply zone, because the price can just literally come up a little higher, go up to like 35,048 or 35,200, and then continue falling down. So definitely not going to be trying to get into that, into any buys as of yet. Like I said, if I get a retracement to the downside, then maybe I'll try to get into a buy again. But as of right now, I'm good love, enjoy. Going over to arbitrage. And like I had mentioned, price never came down to these equal lows, where that's usually how you would want to play these trades if you are trying to get into them when it calls a buy like that. And it did call for an exit, and that's the time where I would have exited, and I would have probably taken, so the original stop loss was basically 470 points, right? Once I got that exit, I was like, okay, the exit's right there. I'm gonna be losing half of my trade, right? So instead of losing a whole 1%, I would lose like 0.5% or maybe 0.55%, right? Then price went bullish, hit take profits. So yeah, that's all dandy. Monthly time frame, same thing with Dow Jones. When's the last time you saw a call for a buy according to arbitrage? Never. Weekly time frame, wicked off of the upper danger zone and the RSI line. That's wild. It called for a sell, but it's currently retracing, so I don't know what it's about to do. Daily time, 4 hour time frame called for a buy. Even if it did come and retrace down here, I'm not sure if I'd buy it. And 1 1 hour time frame trying to set up for a sell. So yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna try to sell it up here quite yet, unless, like I said, unless it does something like this, retracement, continuation, then I'm cool. Then I'll be better off buying it, right? But not like how it is here, not now. Okay, let's go on over to tacos, USD Mexican. All right, so tacos. We had gone into a buy on USD Mexican and on the next wave, and because I don't know how many of you guys remember, on last Sunday, this is exactly what I wanted to see. Wait, was it last Sunday or 2 Sundays ago? It was literally it had to be last Sunday. That I was saying that, I want to see price retrace and then continue making higher highs, right? Now, once that happened, I saw the bullish move, and I'm like, okay, I would want a retracement onto the fib zone of from this low to this high, and that would be my entry. Got in, price went bullish and came to the 38.2 extension. I was like, okay, I'm taking profits here because obviously it's not trying to hit up the 61.8, but this was a beautiful play. I'm gonna have to save this. Okay, and let me do this real quick, guys, again, just to show what the setup was. Because I did call it off that bearish candle. Okay, so with that being said, I want to see what this is going to do, because I mean, at this point, what can I say, right? At this point, I have to be like, okay, so from this low to this high, price rejected off the 71%. Maybe I want to try to continue buying this, right? But let's go ahead and remove drawings and go ahead and get back into the weekly time frame on USD Mexican. So I don't care for how that bearish, this candle looks here. And I don't know how many of you guys remember me talking about this last week either, but I was saying that, hey, if from this high to this low, price has retraced up here at like right at the 20. So the high was 20.20300, which is barely missing. You know what I mean? Now I'm gonna have to make sure I'm drawing the fib like 100% correct. Okay, boom. So basically, very much barely missing the 61.8 fib from this high to this low, and then it dropped, came back up, and this long wick to the upside is very much bearish. This looks like to me it's gonna keep falling. So, and again, me seeing that on USD Mexican is not that great looking to me. Now that makes me think the US dollar might be falling, but we'll see about that, right? But very bearish taco. So I'm not going to try to trade it at this point, but I am still wanting to see if it's going to make higher highs, because if it does, then it's probably going to end up hitting inside this fib box regardless. But I will believe we got a profitable trade off with that. So I want to see what it does if it climbs up to this demand zone. Supply zone. I'm tripping. Okay. Because if it rejects off of that supply zone, this is the next price that price is coming down to. Because if we look at USD Mexican, I mean, it's just this just looks so interesting to me. How there's this zone down here, and then there's this zone that's right here. So there's like two zones that are right on top of each other that price can just jump off of either one and continue going bullish. So that's just interesting for me to see off of tacos, but let's see what happens. I personally want them to make higher highs and continue going bullish. That's what I personally want to see. Arbitrage, weekly time frame, I promise you, looks terrible. Yeah, rejecting off of that RSI line. Yeah, that's pretty much bad. Monthly time frame. Oh wow, the monthly is, oh, that makes so much sense. The monthly is saying, yo, you better not try to buy this because I'm about to fall. Like, it's under the RSI line. It's been rejecting off of the under the monthly RSI line for months now. For, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 5 months basically under the RSI line. That's pretty much saying that price might drop pretty shortly. So yeah, if price can do this for me, that'd be awesome. I'd be like, okay, let's go ahead and try to get into a high opportunity sell, right? I'll go talk about gold very shortly. Weekly time frame, hold it, rejecting under there. Daily time frame, just hit the upper danger zone and rejected very hard off of it, and is now rejecting off of the RSI line to the downside as well. So yeah, I would definitely leave this alone and I'll try to trade it, except for this time frame. Now that I've seen the 4-hour time frame on tacos, it's like, okay, this could definitely play out, right? This sell move that I had called during the this sell move that I had called during the week, and did take profit. We were able to make money off of USDMXN to the upside as well. I forgot I need to take a picture of that. Actually, I think I have this. Yes, I do have it. I do have this, but I need this though. Or I could have just screenshotted it off the YouTube channel. But it's okay. All right. So yeah, that hits Spain take profit. We just draw there, boom. Spain take profit. So we'll see what happens with the USDMXN, but as of right now, I'm feeling more bearish than bullish on it. All right, Goldilocks. Dang, I've been on this analysis for a little while, I feel. All right, Goldilocks. That thing ended up only getting me 1/3 of my position in at the 61.8, but it's okay because after that it tanked, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna move my stop loss to break even, man. There's no point in me trying to get into it or anything like that. That's 465 pip drop. I can't be mad because, I mean, again, I got one position, and one position is better than having no position at all, right? So that is what happened with gold. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this. And this. And then let's go ahead and remove all the drawings. Weekly time frame. Weekly time frame, it looks like gold definitely wants to go bearish. It came right back down under the 50 EMA with the bearish candle. Then, like, I mean, these two bearish candles, and then with this candle right here is not telling me that gold wants to buy, right? I do see this wick, however, from this previous bearish push, but again, price never broke through these highs. These equal highs here, price never broke through them. So that is something to watch no matter what. Price never broke through those equal highs. The fib from this low of the wick to the high of when price came back up here, price rejected off of the, let me make sure, 1737 is the low. Yeah, 1737.840. So basically, price came down to this 61.8 fib and rejected off of it a little bit. But the way how the daily candle looks, daily time frame looks like it's going to keep falling. Going over to the 4-hour time frame, same thing. From this high to this low, the retracement was pretty nice off of the 61.8. Then price ended up falling. So making these equal, price coming down to 1715 or 1699, very likely, absolutely, very much likely. So
I didn't understand that.
It's okay. You don't need to understand me because I didn't talk to you. It's my phone. So yeah, let's see what happens with gold. But as of right now, I wouldn't try to get into anything with gold at all. Like, it just looks like it's gonna, even when I go into the lower time frames, what does it look like to me? It looks like these were some equal lows. there's some wicks that went down there, but I don't think those equals have been grabbed properly. So the likelihood of 1722, 1711 for the short term, that's what it looks like to me. But hey, there's some people that they would actually try to buy this, and I wouldn't even hold it. I wouldn't even hold them and try to play the range or something like that, or try to see from this bearish push the retracement if you can get into another gold sell or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like 1765.700 doesn't look terrible. I mean, like I said, gold is making lower highs and lower lows to me, and I've been saying this for months now. Like, I've been very much bearish on gold, and my phone keeps thinking I'm calling it or talking to it.
I didn't find home in your contacts.
Nobody, cancel.
I couldn't find a contact named Nobody, cancel. Who do you want to call?
All right, that's funny. So bitty Bitcoin. Let's keep dropping. All right, that's cool. It's awesome. All right, so yesterday I had talked about a sell on Bitcoin. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, I mentioned a sell on Bitcoin and that was just off of like, going on to the 1 hour time frame from where price really dropped at this zone, the retracement coming up to here. Or if I really want to, I could just say that, this was it rejected off the 61.8 from this high to this low. Then price ended up falling, and I expect it to continue falling. 1-to-1 has been smashed. In fact, I mean, gotta do it. So 3,373 pips, and then the stop loss was 1,325. So basically, almost like double. Basically, it's basically definitely gone 1 to 2 at least, right? So I want to see what's it really gonna do right here, because one thing that I did mention is that, hey, what price can do is come down here and from this bullish move, let me get rid of this other fib so that cancel. Hey, price can come down to these fibs and go bullish from here, which it so has done. It has done that let me even put this lower. It came to literally to the 78.6 and rejected off of it 1, 2, 3 times on a 1 hour time frame and went bullish, right? So those are pretty good signs to say that this can potentially keep going bullish, right? And there are people in the crypto world that they are still accumulating. They are still purchasing more and more cryptocurrency. Now at these prices, I'm not so sure if that's the wave, but that I've been talking about it for a while now. So let's see what these sells are looking like. But I'm still trying to see if price is gonna buy. Like, the only time that I was considered like trying to get into a buy is once price comes back down to like in between 41,479 and 41,291. That's where I'd be like, okay, maybe I'll buy here, and my stop loss would be under these lows. But if I don't get that, then it's gonna keep falling, and I'm gonna stay in my sell, right? So let's see what happens to Mr. Bitcoin. It's dropping right now, which I'm happy to see. I'm really actually happy to see that. It was up here at what time? That thing was up here at 4. Yeah, so let's see if this is going to continue falling. I do expect it to, at least again down to these lows right here, and then if it comes down here, we will see. Then it's like, okay, are you going to keep going bullish or not? So I could definitely see something like this happening. Price coming up here, and if it comes up to 44,180, I'm gonna probably look for another short opportunity. Maybe, not too sure, but just based off of how these things are dropping, I wouldn't be surprised if I see price down at 39,233 tomorrow or the next day. I honestly would not be surprised. So let me go ahead and actually put this over here. Oh, and the reason, let me go. I totally, you know what? I'm not even gonna look at gold arbitrage because it's very much bearish, and at this point it's consolidating on the 1 hour, so it's not going to give us anything to play off of, and the 4 hour is going to be very much like not the move either. So let's go on over to arbitrage for Bitcoin. 1 hour time frame called for the sell down here. I would not have played that. I would have played the 30-minute though. I would have played that for sure. I think that's actually what I did play. I think about it. 4 hour time frame called for the sell, retraced off of here, continue going bearish. Daily time frame, it looks like it still wants to continue falling and come down to 38,953. Weekly time frame, it's not looking good. Price is still under the RSI line, but we still have a day and 23 hours left. So by the time the Sunday analysis is posted up on YouTube, we would have this basically closing. So we'll see what happens with Mr. Bitcoin. Or I don't want to like the gender on it actually, never mind. On Bitcoin. All right. Ripple, kind of the same thing. Rejecting off of the 1 hour 50 EMA, that's something that I would have been able to catch. No, I'm joking. But yeah, same thing basically. And I'm not even gonna go too deep with Ripple. Price for the drop retracement right off of the 71%, and then a continuation to the downside. That's what I was talking about on the analysis on Thursday. So that actually doesn't look too bad to play out, but at the same time, hey, look where it rejected off of 78.6 for the bullish move, right? So if price does climb up and retraces and comes down over here and holds back at 0.90600 basically, then I might get into a Ripple buy because it doesn't look terrible, you know? I like the way how it like broke through these equal lows and then went bullish right after. So that's something that I'm going to be watching for. But overall, I was saying that I'm feeling more of a bearish sentiment on Ripple, but I want to see if it's going to turn around here. But the volume is something that I'm like, it's like there was no volume until like this down here when price made this big bearish candle. So again, I feel like this is going to keep falling. If price comes down over here to 0.90600, I would be patient and wait for some type of price action on the very much like 15-minute or 5-minute, not 15-minute, like the 5-minute or 10-minute time frame to look for potential like signs or patterns that it might drop. And Ethereum, same thing, from this high to this low. It didn't get to the 61.8 though, so boo. I'm just playing. Yeah, this thing looks like it's just gonna keep falling, guys. Like I'm not so crazy over the buys on these cryptos, like bearish candles right after coming up to this, like once this weekly candle came up to this demand zone and it hit 4,000, it came right back down and it looks like it's gonna just keep falling to me. And daily time frame under the 50 EMA. So let's see what it really goes down, but I'm not feeling it. I think these are gonna keep going, and it is what it is. It was a good bull run. Like you see from this fib, where is there you go. From when this price pushed down, the retracement 61.8 pushed down again. So it's like, let's see what happens. I'm not feeling any buys on Ethereum, quite honestly, because of the way how this bearish. I'm not feeling the buys. Like they're just iffy. All right, I'm not even in Ripple anymore, so I don't know why that's on. GBP USD. I was mentioning that if I were trying to get into a sell at this point with GU, it would be if price came up to like 1.38258, then I would try to get in. There's these equal lows that are down here that I feel like would eventually get ran through. So yeah, like there's these equal lows that get ran through. But the way how price went bullish and came down, we might be seeing that push to the upside very shortly. And I think Payton had mentioned something about that. So I like how price came up here and rejected off of that zone, to be quite honest. go on to the weekly time frame real quick, and I'm gonna just actually remove drawings. Okay, weekly time frame currently rejecting off of the 50 EMA, so that's something that you definitely want to keep an eye out for. There is the zone that price is currently rejecting off of, so that's another thing that you want to keep an eye out for. But again, there's these equal lows that are down here that I feel like they're going to get ran through, or it's just that price is going to just like keep going bearish and slam to the downside, right? Yeah, same thing. That's all I see right there. It's just like looks like the price is going to slam to the downside. Have a bullish engulfing candle though, so that's something that I don't necessarily want to go and fight against, right? Because whenever we usually see a bullish engulfing candle, that means price ends up like retracing and then continue going bullish, or just continue going bullish. From this low to this high, price is retraced and came down to the 61.8 on the 4-hour time frame. It has rejected off of that 61.8 Fibonacci level 3 times, and on the 1-hour time frame, it's rejected it multiple times. But I would want to see it come to my own personal fib zone at 1.36500 before I start buying it. So USD pairs, they kind of look like they might be going bullish. Who knows? Like, again, I'm gonna have to see what Sunday, Monday is going to bring. Maybe I can get an opportunity for it to go bullish just to retrace up to like 1.37746 or something, and then end up going bearish again. So I'm going to be watching for that on GU. I don't think I looked at arbitrage for these pairs. Let me look at GU, and then I'll do arbitrage for the other cryptos. So weekly time frame, this is actually playing out perfectly right now. So I think I have a swap position that I talked about. This looks like it's playing out perfectly right now. I think 1-to-1 has definitely been hit. So what was 208 pips, right? That was what we were risking. And price dropped down 254. So yes, absolutely, this is going to a 1-to-1 risk to reward just based off of what we were risking. But your real stop loss intake partial will be at 1.34500. So I would definitely love to see this continue falling. Daily time frame, very much bearish, rejected off of the lower danger zone. So I expect it to continue falling. 4-hour time frame has not called for a sell yet. It's not setting up for a sell quite yet. This was a failure, and I believe that I have that chart. Let me go ahead and move it up the way. 1-hour time frame called for a sell as well. So I'm just like, yo, GU, you might want to do you and keep falling, boo. That's how I really feel though. All right, so let me do Ripple and Ethereum for arbitrage. Very much bearish on the 4-hour. Very much bearish on the daily. Looks like 75 cents wants to get hit. Weekly time frame, price is rejecting off of that that RSI line and the upper danger zone, so that's a good sign for Ripple to potentially still go bullish. But the way how the rest of the time frames are looking is not that good of a look. So yeah. And Ethereum, 1-hour time frame bearish. They're all basically the same thing, right? They all look the same, except for on the weekly time frame. Weekly, Ethereum looks like it still wants to go bullish, except for these blue candles. They're killing the vibe. So let's go on to GA, then I'll do GJ and EG, and I'm out of here. So GA looks a whole lot of mess. I don't even want to trade this, but basically from this push, the retracement 61.8 continuation, it basically played out, but it's just messy right now. So at this point, I just kind of want to still hold my bias that, okay, I want to see this continue falling. And if this continues falling, that means that AUD USD is going to continue going bullish. So yeah, that's basically what I have for GA. It's basically the same thing as I had last week. Go to arbitrage real quick. Weekly time frame, very much bullish. Daily time frame called for a sell, and the sell is that it never called for the exit on the sell, and it's playing out currently. I mean, it is under the RSI line, so that's something to watch out for. 4-hour time frame, price ended up coming and Like if you didn't take partial profits or anything like that, or especially arbitrage users, if you saw price was rejecting down here, then you should have known to take your profits. That's what I did at least. So, I think I have that chart as well. But yeah, definitely want to still see this continue going bearish. Like that's what it looks like it's gonna do on arbitrage. So let's keep it pushing. Like everything matches up so far. And GBJPY. Okay, so a lot of people were talking about sells on GJ today. So let's go ahead and get to it, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and just start from a fresh top down and then get to the trade that I'm at right now. So weekly time frame, I am terrified of this weekly time frame because we have one very similar right here, but that makes me only believe that makes me feel that GJ just wants to go to the downside and grab this liquidity down here now. You feel me? Because this came down to this zone twice, like multiple times, not even twice, because ever since it's broken through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there is some money to grab down here, a lot of money to grab down there, right? Going to the daily time frame, I don't like that bullish engulfing candle by any means, but if anything, I would need it to make a retracement regardless, and price is still under the 50 EMA. Coming from this high to this low, and we're noticing that GJ is not making any, it has not broken any structure to say that it is, but it is making lower lows because we have a low, a high, higher low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, not a lower low, equal high, equal lows, lower high, because it's not any higher than that, equal lows. So it's still bearish, right? And then it came up to this fib zone, almost came up to the 71%, but it looks like that it might just want to consolidate a little over here a little bit. I still kind of see that maybe 152.071 can get possibly rejected off of before going bearish, or maybe 151.775. You know what? I'm gonna put the alert here. Okay, create the alert, but I am definitely bearish on GJ, and I'm already in this trade, to be quite honest with you, because I had said that okay, from this high, from this high to this low, the retracement and the continuation, I had gone into this trade right here. And I think my stop loss is something like this. And I said, hey, I still want to see this continue falling. And it's basically almost the same thing, right? So this is the trade that I have. Let me make sure, actually. I can make sure for you right now. $152.062. Boom, right there. So a good 1 to 5.5 risk reward ratio. Not gonna lie, and I'm probably gonna add an entry here and then have a regular stop loss above these equal highs for GJ. So we'll see how that goes. I definitely am feeling it though. Daily time frame still bearish. Weekly time frame, it didn't close under the RSI line, but it is rejecting. It's not that it's rejecting, but it's right now it's just in the upper danger zone. So I still want that to hold for my bearish sentiment to still be there, right? 1 hour time frame calling for a sell right at the market close. What happens? I like the sells. I definitely like the sell opportunities on GJ, and last but not least, EG. So this was the setup that I said that, hey, if EG comes down to 0.85335, then I'll try to get another entry on it. That didn't happen. Price ended up rejecting off of the 61.8, but I still want to see this continue going bullish. There is a buy trade that is still currently running off of EG, but I've taken most of my profits, but I'm still in this. So we'll see what happens with EG. Nothing's really changed. I had talked about this at the beginning of the week as well. Let me go into the weekly time frame and see what it looks like. Yeah, the weekly time frame I don't care for either, because there's that big wick to the upside, and on the daily time frame we see that it looks like a shooting star, and then it was bearish as well. So again, these GB pairs, they kind of look like that, like EG wants to continue going bearish and GJ might want to continue going bullish, but we're gonna wait and see until next week plays out, right? Once next week plays out, we'll be like, all right, well then there you go, that's exactly what I wanted to do. And then EG, 1 hour time frame calling for a buy. I would probably, if price can come a little lower, I might try to get into that buy. 4 hour time frame calling for the sell right at the market close. I don't want to see that. Daily time frame has been consolidating, so it's been bullish. It's been calling for a buy, and it's been basically just consolidating, like I mentioned. And the weekly time frame is still rejecting off of the RSI line, but the RSI line is at a prime spot for a potential breakout to the upside, retracement, continuation. It doesn't have to go up that high, but you guys get what I'm trying to say. So that is my weekly Forex and cryptocurrency analysis. Thank you guys. I do appreciate it. Please, if you gain some value, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It helps us out with the YouTube algorithm so that we'll be able to give more value to other people on our analysis. So with that being said, this is your boy ABK, and I'm out of here. Later, y'all. Damn.